Hey Fearless Millionaires, in this lesson I want to talk to you about building relationships. But not just any relationship, I'm talking about building strong relationships. Relationships that will last you a lifetime. You know, today we have more and more tools and opportunity to communicate with people. We have social media, we have texting, we have more options or ways to call people right through internet and through cell phones. Almost the entire world has cell phones. So communication is at its highest peak that it's ever has been, and it's going to keep growing. However, what's really important in that process is the quality of the relationship. Sometimes it's the communication with those relationships. And one thing I discovered and learned over the years, which is kind of going to tie right into this lesson, that I heard from a mentor of mine, which is your income, how much you make per year, right, or per month, right, however you want to break it down. Your income is determined by the 5 people that you hang around with. All right, I'm going to say that again. Your income is determined by the 5 people you hang out with. That means if you can count the 5 closest people in your life, the people that you hang out with the most, and you name them off the top of your hand, and you just count them, and if you can, either you can ask them, or you can kind of just guess how much money they make per year. And if you can guess those 5, and I bet you your income is not too far away from one of those people, or to all of them. Like, you're kind of like right in the middle, right in the average, as they say, you're right in the center, right? And the reason why that is because as human beings, we tend to hang around people that are like us, right? And this kind of ties into another part about beliefs, right? What you believe. If you don't think you're going to earn a lot of money, then your belief system is lower, right? If you just don't have that belief that you're going to earn more, be more, grow your life, then guess what? Your belief system is low. If you truly believe you can do more, be more, travel more, right? Have better relationships, then your belief system is high. Well, if you hang out with broke people all the time, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to be broke. Those words they use, the language, the way they feel about their life, it's going to have an impact on your life. However, if you hang around people who are not broke, let's say you hang out with more wealthy people, you're going to hear more words like saving, investing, business, duplication or multiplication, delegation, right? Those kinds of words that multiply. You're also going to hear words like charity, giving, building, right? Construction. All those kinds of words lead to wealth. And that will be determined by those people, again, that you hang out with. So I challenge you to kind of like test that for yourself. Now, let me share something that's really important, because I've shared this message before, but what I get is a lot of people, they name those 5 people in their life, their 5 closest friends, and then they give them all a call and say, I'm not hanging out with you, you're broke, I'm done with you, right? That is not a good thing, okay? What you want to do in order to build a better relationship with the people around you, you're gonna get new friends, right? You're gonna change your influence, the people, your circles, right? Now, let me give you an example. You've probably experienced this before. When you were coming up, maybe let's go back 10 years ago. Your friends were probably different 10 years ago than they are today. Well, guess what? In the next 5 years, your friends are gonna be different. But it's only gonna be different by the way your lifestyle goes. So if you wanna change your lifestyle, if you wanna change your mindset, if you wanna change your income to a higher level, guess what? You have to change the people you're around. So what I don't encourage you to do is don't call the people that are around you right now or text them and say, hey, I don't like you, you're out of my life, get out of my life. No, I don't encourage that. There's a way to handle those types of situations. All you have to do is manage your time more appropriately. Sometimes, I'll give you actually a personal example. A lot of my friends, when I was in university and going through school, a lot of my friends always used to hang out on the weekends. They always used to go to the bar. They used to be drinking maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and just drink all the weekend through. Well, as I started personally growing, what I started doing is I started educating myself, and I'd read books at the library and whatnot. I'd just start reading more. And finally, I just discovered, you know what? I really don't like that lifestyle. I stopped going to the bar with them and hanging out with them. I stopped, hanging out at parties that really weren't they weren't exciting to me, right? So I just started getting bored with it, and I was just like, I'm over it. So I slowly stopped hanging out with them, and that's literally what you want to do or have to do. You have to slowly start weaning yourself away from those types of people. And then what you do is you start getting around groups of people that are like-minded. Now there's some really cool ways to do that these days. You have the power of the internet, right? You have the power where you can search for groups online, whether it's through social media or websites. There's websites like meetup.com. There's social or groups on social media that you can be a part of, and then you can link up locally, or on a digital way. You can link up in a group, in a circle, right? And the reason why that's so important is because you hang out with like-minded individuals. When you start hanging around people that are of the same like-mindedness, then guess what? You're going to get exactly what happens in that group, right? So I encourage you to do that, but please don't go to your 5 closest people right now and totally cut them out of your life. That's not the way to do it, okay? And sometimes those people are even family members. Sometimes those people will be the closest people to you. It can be the naysayers in your life. What you want to do, and I'll give you this tip of advice, what you want to do is love your family and pick your peers. Pick your friends. Love your family and pick your peers, because you're going to love your family regardless. You're not going to abandon them just because you believe differently or whatnot. They may be the people that shut your ideas down, what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to be, but you're not going to shut them out of your life, right? You're not going to do that. They're your family. So you love your family, but you pick the people, those 5 people that you're going to be around. So what I encourage you to do is start doing some analysis of the people that are closest to you, and start thinking about people that you would want to be like, or that you admire, people that you look up to in your circles, and start making a way to build a relationship with them. And the way to do that is to find some common ground. Okay, you have to find some common ground with someone in order to be more relatable, in order for them to like you, in order for a reason to hang out, right? And actually, it's kind of human nature. When people all hang out at certain groups, you all notice they're all interested in the same thing. That's why we have groups, whether it's all kinds of stuff. Some people like sports, and they all go to sporting events, right? Some people like shooting pool. They all like to, congregate to do that, right? So spiritual groups, they group for that, right? There's all different types of things that people will come together for. So keep that in mind, that you can start finding groups of people that you can network with to help build those relationships. So that is a solution. The other thing I want to share with you is make some time to specifically connect with people. And I want to share a personal story with you that helped grow my relationships with people many years ago. I used to deliver newspapers, the paper newspapers. I used to deliver it to every house in my neighborhood. So I used to go to their door and drop off a newspaper. Well, I used to do this to about 500 customers, okay? And I'd do it every morning. I'd wake up at 4 a.m. and I'd run up to their porch and I'd drop off a newspaper. Well, I just felt like at that time, the relationship was so distant. Like, I just knew, I didn't even see most of these people. Most of these people, I never knew who they were. It'd be like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and I wouldn't even know, never see their face. I'd only know their name from my list. So what I wanted to do was build a better relationship with these people, my newspaper customers. So what I started doing is I started writing a letter, right? And I started writing a letter to these customers, and every month, I did it once a month, I'd write a letter. And it was a general letter, so the letter went to all my customers. I wasn't writing one individually to each. And in that letter, I would state a little bit about what was new going on with me, some highlighted news, and then I'd ask them at the end of the letter what's going on new with them, right, to get to know them a little bit better. And the cool thing was, when I did that every month, it only took about 3 to 4 months. I used to start getting letters back. I used to start getting invited to people's homes for, whether it was Christmas or some holiday, some sporting event. People started inviting me over their homes, and I was just their newspaper person, right? But it was more than that, right? I was more to them because I built a relationship. The cool thing was, some people who never tipped me, because I only worked for, every time I delivered a newspaper, I'd get paid. But after a while, because of my relationships, because of the letters I would write to people, and we built that relationship, these people started tipping me, and they never tipped me before. So that was awesome to me, and I realized something. I understood that when you give to people, and when you build strong relationships, people will connect with you more and give to you. Now, it may not be money. It could be money. It could be all kinds of things. Could be fellowship, could be hanging out, could be food, could be anything, right? But the important thing is to connect with people first. The amazing thing is, after I was writing those letters, and I think about maybe 10 years ago now, maybe longer than that, I quit doing the newspapers probably like 15 years ago, but when I went back into that neighborhood to go visit some of my customers, I literally would just walk up, knock on the door, ring the bell, and I would ask, hey, is so-and-so here? And the amazing thing is, most of those customers, not all of them, but most of them who still live there in those homes, they remembered me, and they never forgot the letters that I used to write. They never that left something on their heart and on their mind, that they said, you know, out of all the newspaper carriers we had, you were the one we loved the most. Yeah, the newspaper was over there and we really didn't like it. Sometimes that happened. But they said, you were just so honest and genuine, and we really liked you. You know, that meant a lot to me, because it showed that I gave value into their life and I cared about them, right? Building the relationship. So that's a story I wanted to share with you, that something I did personally. It was a lesson I learned at a very young age, and I still apply that in my life with my clients and my customers now. Whether I'm speaking at an event or I'm coaching a client on their business, I continually make sure I write some personal letters that builds the value. So I want to leave you with a testimonial and some steps of action. I actually had a testimonial come in just about a month ago, and I shared this same story about writing letters and the impact that had. So I had a friend of mine who deals with real estate agents, and he started writing letters, personal letters. And I have a few friends that are actually agents that write letters or postcards or whatnot. But this one agent out of Texas was writing letters, and he would write it personally and then mail it out, and it would come back to him. He would actually get letters back. And he told me that his referral business, he actually had more referral business than anyone else in his office for getting more deals just because of those letters. It's a powerful story. It's a good friend of mine out in Dallas, Texas. The last thing I want to leave with you is an action step. Now, in this page somewhere, I'm going to put a free guide. It's like a checklist and a questionnaire for you. It's the title of it is Questions That Build Strong Relationships, and you can use this in your business or in your life. And these questions are great, and they actually are helpful in business and your personal life to help you build stronger relationships with the people around you. Okay, so on this page somewhere, click on the link, download that free gift that I have for you, go out and apply it, and I'd love for you to share your results with me, so you can email me back and let me know what you thought of it and how it's helped you. All right, so that's another Fearless Millionaire lesson about building strong relationships. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you real soon.